Okay, hi guys, Mike Scott out of the Canton branch, and this is Neil Dye here out of the Canton branch also. We want to talk to you, this quick safety video here. We want to talk to you about floor scale, when we're working on floor scale safety, okay? And in this particular shot right here, we're talking about when we're working on them on a forklift. If you've been here, if you've been with Breck Builder for any time, length of time, you've had to work on a floor scale, and a lot of times we work with them when they're on a forklift, okay? So a couple things we got to keep in mind here. There is a danger of this scale sliding off of these forks, all right? So I want you to notice how we've got the fork spread apart as far as we can, all right? The forks on this forklift are a little over 40 inches long, so they're plenty long that the scale's not going to flip off the front of the forks. And Neil also has the forks tilted back, okay? So this is a relatively safe way to work on the scale. Now, obviously, you do not want to be underneath the scale, all right? So I got a little, maybe chest height, you know, so I can do what I need to do, but I'm not underneath of it. One other thing is, some customers will not allow us to work on them when they're on a forklift. They consider it a suspended load, so you need to make sure you double check with the customer, okay? Again, with the forklift stopped, and the scale sitting on here, this is a relatively safe operation, but there's a couple things you need to keep in mind. You can see this scale's seen a little bit of use in its days. If we have to get a load cell out of here, we all know that we're going to have to crank on those load cell bolts, okay? And during that process, we run the risk of, when we're cranking on to loosen them up, that the scale could slide or come off of the forks, okay? So you have to be careful with that. A lot of branches are going to the cordless impact guns. I understand that not everybody's going to have one in their truck all the time, but if you know you're going out on a floor scale repair and you have an impact, take it with you. It makes things that much easier, okay? Now, while we got this on the forklift, let's talk a little bit about if we have to move this scale, if we have to move this and let's say set it back down or set it back down in a hole, okay? We don't want to transport this scale with it 3 foot in the air, do we? Okay, we want to get it down as far as we can to the ground so that if it does slide, we don't get hurt. We also need to keep ourselves away from a situation where if it were to slide, we have nowhere to go. In other words, against a wall or something like that. The other thing we don't want to do is we definitely don't want to be in the direction of travel, okay? Because if it's going to slide and it slides off the front, if we're standing there, we're going to get hurt. So just a reminder, if you're going to move the scale to set it back down in the pit, get the thing down as close to the ground as you can before the forklift starts moving, okay? If you have somebody else to help you, that's another good thing. Have them get in there and help hold the scale, but again, stay away from it so if something happens, you don't get hurt. All right, thanks guys, be safe.